Have you ever wondered why some men can't seem to stop thinking about a woman long after they've been together, while with others, the spark fades almost instantly? It's not magic and it's not luck. It's about what she does in those quiet moments after intimacy that makes all the difference. When you maintain your sense of self after intimacy, you send a powerful subconscious message that you are a whole and complete person who values her own life. Too often, people slip into the trap of letting intimacy blur the lines between their individuality and the relationship. They begin to believe that because they have shared a vulnerable and beautiful moment with someone, they now need to revolve their entire emotional world around that person. This is one of the fastest ways to lose the very energy that attracted the other person in the first place. Maintaining your sense of self is about remembering that your passions, your goals, your friendships, and your routines are not things you set aside because you are now physically closer to someone. They are the foundation of who you are, and they are what make you magnetic. Think about the people you're drawn to in your own life. They have something going on that's bigger than the relationship itself. They have projects, dreams, and responsibilities that give their life texture. This creates a sense of depth and intrigue. When a man sees that you can share intimacy with him and then still step back into your own vibrant life, he experiences you as someone grounded and confident. It tells him you are with him by choice, not by need, and that difference is felt more deeply than anything you could say outright. The moment you start living only through him, you remove the healthy tension that keeps a relationship alive. Maintaining your sense of self keeps that tension intact in a way that feels exciting and alive. Part of this comes down to emotional balance. After intimacy, the temptation can be to suddenly flood him with attention, messages, or availability, as if the closeness you've just shared should automatically translate into constant contact. But real connection isn't built through overexposure. It's built through meaningful moments and the space in between them. By continuing to invest in your own life, you're showing that you can enjoy the high of a romantic moment without becoming dependent on it for your sense of identity. That's not coldness, that's maturity. A man respects and admires a woman who can feel deeply connected to him while still maintaining her own rhythm and priorities. When you do this, you also create room for him to pursue you again. Relationships have a natural ebb and flow, and allowing him the space to miss you is crucial. If you're always right there, always available, and always waiting, there's nothing for him to lean toward. But when he sees you stepping into your day with purpose, following through on your commitments, and showing up fully for yourself, it naturally makes him want to be part of that world again. You become not just the woman he shared a moment with, but the woman whose presence feels valuable and rare. This doesn't mean being distant or detached. You can still express warmth, kindness, and affection after intimacy, but the difference is that you're not handing over your entire emotional energy to the moment. You're keeping some of that energy for yourself, for the things that make you feel alive and fulfilled. That self-possession becomes incredibly attractive because it suggests emotional stability and self-worth. It tells him you are not someone who will lose herself in the relationship, and that makes being with you feel safe and exciting at the same time. In the end, keeping your sense of self isn't about playing a game or creating artificial distance. It's about staying true to who you are and making sure the connection enhances your life rather than consumes it. That subtle distinction can be the difference between a spark that fizzles out quickly and one that keeps pulling him back to you again and again. Showing warmth without neediness after intimacy is about offering genuine affection while still holding on to your emotional independence. Warmth is an openness of heart, a way of making someone feel seen, appreciated, and comfortable in your presence. It is the soft smile, the kind words, moments, the small gestures that tell him you enjoyed your time together and that you value the connection you've shared. But the key is that this warmth is given freely, without any hidden agenda or desperate expectation in return. It is not a tool to secure his approval or guarantee his next move, but an authentic expression of how you feel in the moment. Neediness, on the other hand, changes the entire energy of the interaction. It is when warmth becomes overextended, when you start chasing validation instead of enjoying the connection. It shows up in subtle ways, clinging too tightly, seeking constant reassurance, or overanalyzing his every response. After intimacy, it can manifest as repeatedly checking in, needing to know what he is thinking, or interpreting any delay in his words or actions as a sign of disinterest. This pressure can feel suffocating to the other person, not because affection is unwelcome, but because the affection is tangled with an unspoken demand. The balance between warmth and neediness lies in your mindset. If you believe you are already valuable and lovable, your warmth comes across as a gift, not a plea. You can hug him, compliment him, or express gratitude without it being an attempt to secure your place in his life. The affection is genuine because it isn't dependent on what happens next. He doesn't feel the weight of needing to respond in a certain way to keep you emotionally stable. Instead, he experiences your presence as light, inviting, and confident. When a man senses this kind of warmth, he feels drawn to it because it reassures him without trapping him. He can enjoy the closeness without fearing that it will instantly come with a set of expectations he might not be ready to meet. Paradoxically, when you give warmth without attaching strings, it often makes him more eager to come closer on his own. He associates you with comfort and positivity, not with pressure or emotional heaviness. Showing warmth without neediness also means being comfortable with space. You don't have to fill every silence or keep the connection alive with constant communication. You can smile, share a sweet moment, and then let him step back into his own world, trusting that your bond doesn't disappear when you're not physically together. That trust in itself communicates security and self-assuredness, which are deeply attractive qualities. By embodying this balance, you create an environment where intimacy is followed by reassurance and positivity rather than anxiety and tension. He feels safe, not smothered, and that emotional safety is one of the strongest forces that makes someone want to return to you again and again. Surprising him with emotional variety after intimacy is about keeping the connection dynamic and multidimensional instead of letting it settle into predictable patterns. Intimacy creates a moment of closeness, but what happens after can either deepen the connection or make it feel one-dimensional. Emotional variety means blending tenderness with playfulness, depth with light-heartedness, and comfort with a touch of intrigue. It's the ability to shift between different emotional tones so that your presence feels alive and engaging, not static. When you bring emotional variety, you show that you're not stuck in one mode. After intimacy, you might have a quiet, tender exchange where you share a heartfelt compliment or a soft touch, but later you might tease him about something in a playful way. You could share a funny observation, ask a curious question, or spark a light challenge. These subtle shifts create a rhythm in your interactions that keeps him attentive. They prevent the post-intimacy experience from becoming overly heavy or overly casual, striking a balance that keeps things interesting. This variety also reveals more layers of your personality. If every interaction after intimacy is purely romantic and soft, he only sees one side of you and it can lose its novelty. If every interaction is casual and joking, the deeper emotional side gets missed. But when you can move fluidly between those modes, you create a richer emotional landscape He feels both the comfort of knowing you and the excitement of discovering new sides to you. It's not about forcing mood swings or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about letting the natural spectrum of your emotions be present. For example, you can enjoy a calm moment lying together, then shift into sharing a story about something that made you laugh earlier in the day. Or you can respond to something he says with a mix of affection and wit, showing him that your mind is as engaging as your physical presence. This unpredictability is not chaotic, it's stimulating. Men often associate long-term attraction with a sense of adventure, even in small moments. Emotional variety provides that without requiring big dramatic gestures. It keeps him mentally engaged because he never feels like he's experiencing the exact same interaction twice. Instead, he senses that being around you means feeling a range of emotions, from warmth to amusement to intrigue. After intimacy, this variety is particularly powerful because it breaks the expectation that the energy will only be one note. It creates a memory of the moment that is fuller and more textured, which makes it stand out in his mind. He's not just thinking about the physical connection, he's remembering the way you made him laugh, the unexpected insight you shared, or the way you playfully challenged something he said. This emotional layering makes the experience more memorable, and memories are what keep people coming back. Protecting your emotional standards after intimacy is about holding on to the values, boundaries, and expectations that define how you want to be treated, even when emotions are running high. Intimacy can create a powerful sense of closeness that sometimes tempts people to overlook behaviors or situations they wouldn't normally accept. It can blur perspective, making it easy to excuse actions that go against your needs because the physical connection feels strong. Maintaining your emotional standards means you don't let the warmth of the moment override your self-respect or the boundaries you've set for yourself. When you keep your standards intact, you communicate that while you value the connection, you also value yourself just as much. This is not about being rigid or controlling, but about knowing what makes you feel safe, respected, and fulfilled in a relationship. If certain behaviors or patterns leave you feeling undervalued, you acknowledge that rather than sweeping it under the rug simply because there has been intimacy. By doing so, you show that your sense of worth isn't dependent on how close you've been physically, and that the emotional and relational aspects of the connection matter just as much, if not more. This creates a sense of security for the other person because it's clear where you stand. Ambiguity in boundaries often leads to confusion, and confusion leads to uncertainty in how to treat one another. By expressing your standards calmly and confidently, you help set the tone for how the relationship will move forward. That kind of clarity can actually strengthen attraction because it shows maturity and self-awareness. It lets him know you're not someone who will simply go along with whatever happens, but someone who is intentional about the connections she builds. Protecting your emotional standards also helps you avoid over-investing too soon. After intimacy, it's natural to feel a rush of attachment, but rushing to deepen the relationship without ensuring that your emotional needs are being met can lead to imbalance. You might find yourself giving more than you receive, or compromising on things that are important to you just to maintain closeness. Holding on to your standards means pacing the relationship in a way that allows trust and respect to grow alongside the attraction. This approach also builds long-term respect. While physical connection can spark desire, it's consistency in how you value yourself that sustains it. When he sees that you are warm, open, and affectionate, but also unwilling to compromise on what matters to you, it creates a dynamic where he feels both drawn to you and inspired to meet you at your level. It shifts the connection from being purely about chemistry to being about mutual respect and compatibility, which is ultimately what keeps someone coming back for more. Connecting beyond the physical after intimacy is about deepening the bond in ways that go past the immediate chemistry. While the physical side creates closeness, what makes that closeness last is the emotional connection you build in the moments that follow. It's in those quiet conversations, shared laughter, and meaningful exchanges that the relationship becomes something more than just attraction. After intimacy, you have a unique opportunity to make the other person feel that the moment mattered, not just for what happened physically, but for the way you both connected as people. One way this happens is through genuine curiosity about each other. Instead of letting the moment fade into silence or distraction, you can ask questions that reveal more about his experiences, dreams, or perspectives. These questions don't have to be heavy or overly serious. They can be playful or thought-provoking as long as they invite real conversation. This not only shows that you're interested in him beyond the surface, but also allows you both to discover more about who you are as individuals. Those discoveries become shared memories that strengthen your bond. Another part of connecting beyond the physical is sharing parts of yourself in return. Opening up about your own thoughts, experiences, or stories makes the interaction feel mutual rather than one-sided. It turns the moment into a space where both of you are seen and heard. The key is to keep this natural, not forced, so it feels like a genuine exchange rather than an attempt to create instant emotional intensity. Authenticity is what makes the connection feel real and lasting. Humor also plays a big role. Playful teasing, light-hearted jokes, or reminiscing about something funny creates a different kind of intimacy, one that makes the other person associate you with joy. Laughter has a way of breaking down barriers and making people feel more comfortable around each other. After intimacy, when emotions are already heightened, that kind of shared laughter can make the experience feel even more memorable and unique. This deeper connection is also about being present in the moment. When you're engaged and attentive, it shows that you value not just the act of being together, but the person you're with. You're not rushing to the next thing or distracted by your phone. You're focused on the shared space you've created. That level of presence leaves a lasting impression because it's rare and meaningful. When you consistently connect beyond the physical, you create a layered relationship that is both exciting and emotionally fulfilling. He doesn't just think of you in terms of attraction. He remembers how he feels when he's with you, understood, appreciated, and genuinely connected. Those feelings are what pull someone back because they go deeper than chemistry and create the kind of bond that lingers long after the moment is over. Leaving space for him to miss you after intimacy is about understanding the value of distance in maintaining attraction. When two people share a close moment, the natural impulse can be to stay in constant contact, to stretch that closeness as far as possible. While that desire comes from a genuine place, it can unintentionally remove the very spark that makes someone look forward to seeing you again. Space allows the emotional energy of the moment to linger and grow rather than be diluted by overexposure. It gives him the chance to reflect on the experience and recognize how much he enjoyed it without you having to remind him constantly. When you allow that space, you're showing confidence in the connection. You're not rushing to secure his next move or seeking constant reassurance that he still feels the same. Instead, you're trusting that the bond you created can hold its own without immediate follow-up. This communicates a sense of security in yourself and in what you bring to the relationship. It tells him you have a life full of your own priorities and that while you value him, you're not dependent on him for your sense of fulfillment. Space also builds anticipation. Human nature is wired to place more value on something when it's not always within reach. By giving him time away from you, you create an opportunity for curiosity and desire to grow. He starts thinking about you on his own, replaying the shared moments and wondering what you're doing. This kind of mental engagement is far more powerful than trying to keep his attention through constant interaction. It shifts his focus from feeling pursued to feeling inspired to pursue you. It's important to note that leaving space doesn't mean creating unnecessary distance or playing games. It's not about ignoring him or withholding warmth to manipulate his feelings. It's simply about not overwhelming the connection with too much availability. You can still send a thoughtful message or respond warmly when he reaches out, but you balance that with time spent on your own life. This balance keeps the connection fresh because it allows both of you to bring new experiences, stories, and energy into each interaction. In practice, this might mean ending the time together on a high note rather than dragging it out, or letting a conversation pause naturally instead of trying to keep it alive just for the sake of contact. It can also mean waiting before reaching out, not because you're counting hours, but because you're genuinely engaged in other parts of your life. This rhythm helps maintain the excitement that comes from seeing each other again, and it ensures that when you do reconnect, it feels intentional rather than habitual. By leaving space for him to miss you, you're giving the relationship room to breathe, which is essential for keeping attraction alive. It allows the memories of intimacy to settle in his mind and creates a natural pull toward wanting more. In the end, men are drawn back to women who carry themselves with a blend of warmth, confidence, and emotional depth. When you maintain your sense of self, show genuine affection without neediness, keep things fresh with emotional variety, protect your boundaries, connect on a level deeper than the physical, and leave space for him to miss you, you create an irresistible combination. You're not chasing, convincing, or performing. You're simply living as a whole, vibrant person whose presence adds value to his life. That balance of closeness and independence is what turns a single moment into a lasting memory and a fleeting attraction into something he keeps wanting to return to again and again.